playground. Hooray!
Well, what do you have here? You have the Outcast podcast back for yet another episode. This is where a brown guy, being Ramo G, a black guy, being the one and only Memphis,
Hola,
and a white guy, Tomcat, we all walk in to do a podcast, and this is unfortunately what you get, a band of outcasts. But we all do show up to work, not necessarily exactly on time, but we are here for this podcast, episode 34. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Hey, now you know.
Congratulations and thank you.
Yes.
For listening.
Because without you guys, we ain't shit. I mean, we still ain't shit, but
yeah.
I mean, you know,
we're still outcasts. That's for sure.
That's
I'd also
right.
like to thank our good friends at BetterHelp.com/Outcast. If you use that promo code, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. What I like about the fact that using BetterHelp is a lot of people lately all talk about, I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but invest in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Invest in NFTs. Everybody wants you to invest in that. With BetterHelp, you can invest in you. How about investing in yourself and getting some therapy to try to maybe get rid of some of that anxiety, get rid of some of that depression, talk to somebody about your problems, and then it could translate into all your dreams coming true. So use our promo code, BetterHelp.com/Outcast. Save yourself 10% this month. TK may need therapy after his head was rattled. Please tell more. All I know is you pulled your shirt up, and it looked like you're in some horror film. I mean, literally the back of TK's back has gravel still inside of it.
Like a really bad rash.
I'm concerned, bro. You need to get that checked.
Yeah, what happened? Tell us.
I fell. No, just kidding. So riding the electric skateboard, which I may have alluded to, they're fast. I was following. We do these group rides out in out through town, and I was following somebody in front of me, and there was a person on the trail in front of that person. That person, they slammed on the brakes, and you could see there's kind of mud on the trail. And as I came around, and the crazy thing is, I don't usually wear a helmet, and I should, right?
Definitely.
But I wore a helmet yesterday, right?
Thank God.
And I hit my head, the back of my head, so damn hard.
We should watch
the
video.
Let me just tell you, if I didn't have that helmet on, not the same today.
Well, we do have
helmet.
We do have the video that we're playing. We're going to play it right now if you're watching the video version of this.
Awesome.
Here you see, if you could give us a play-by-play, Tomcat, of the video here. What was going on? You were going fast, I can tell by the video.
All right, so here's what happens here. I'm coming down. I'm doing real fucking good right here. And then here comes this bush off to the right. Now on the right, around this right, here comes some people. Here comes some people. Here comes some people. Losing it. Oh! You're looking at the sky.
Ouch.
And I hit when I slipped back, boom, right on my back and my head slammed on the ground. I felt that blink bounce off the ground. And I was like, I should be in trouble. But then as I got up, I was like, I'm wearing a helmet. And I was so happy. And everybody's like, you all right? And I was just like, I'm wearing a helmet.
So does
They're
this
like, yes, you are, you fucking
Does
idiot.
this make you want to maybe turn that thing in? I know you have a friend.
Wear the helmet.
You have a friend, though, who, what happened to your friend that you used to ride with?
He broke his leg.
Yeah.
That helmet didn't help that leg there.
So that's
all right, but still.
I mean, come on. At some point, when are you going to, take it safe?
When are you going to give up? When are you going to stop?
When are you going to grow up?
Do you hear these guys?
What does your girlfriend say?
You got to hang it up,
his girlfriend.
What does your girlfriend say? Yeah. She's got to be concerned for you out there.
She says, go kill yourself, idiot.
Aren't you too old for a girlfriend? Shouldn't you be in a committed relationship by now?
No, don't do that to him.
Oh, that's not very nice,
Don't do
Rainbow.
that to him. That's not nice. No, come on, man.
How many years have you been with your lovely girl?
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years?
I think it's time, TJ.
About 10 years.
Some people, marriage is just a piece of paper.
That's true. That's true.
Marriages don't
Hey,
last
man,
that long,
do whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
works
that's
for
the
you,
funny part about it. People will be like, get married, but a lot of people have been married and divorced in that 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it happens,
and we're still together, and we're strong. You know,
whatever.
She still folds my clothes, so I know she loves me, just like Dirty Red says.
Nice.
Dirty Red says that I stole that from him.
Yeah, if she'll fold your underwear, she must be in love.
I'll tell you what, because if she doesn't, she ain't doing that shit.
She's completely gross.
All right, let's kick off the show, pun intended, with talking some football. Man, do I feel like a freaking failure. Last week, what do? I picked the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. And right out of the gate, Dak Prescott,
we
man.
told you. Tried to tell you.
And I had to fucking follow you
nobody.
right down into that Dak hole.
Yeah, you picked the Cowboys along with me. You thought I knew what I was talking about.
I did, and I didn't know they were playing the Bucks because that's
the hell's wrong with you guys?
I didn't know they were going to play the Bucks. Let me just
we
tell
were
you
talking to Super Bowl.
You know, there's a thing called a schedule. You can just look it up, and it's like, oh, it's right there. They play the Cowboys opening night.
I don't want to look up the football schedule though.
You don't
but
have
you're a
to.
Bucks fan though, right?
Well, yeah, I'm like a ride along tail. I'm
Oh,
like a
come
tail
on.
riding
You
Bucks
gotta,
fan.
I get it.
No, get off the bench.
I'm one
Get
of
in the
those
game
people that
already.
just
You gotta
like,
root for a
if
team
the
and
Bucks are
say
winning,
you're
I'm
with
a
them.
fan. If they're
I
not,
totally
I'm not a
get
fan.
it. I totally
like
get
the
it.
Dolphins, they're also in Florida, and
Well,
I'm
they
not a
suck,
fan because they
though.
suck. Exactly.
They
Which
did
is
win
why
on
I'm
Sunday.
not a Dolphins fan.
Because the Dolphins
I'm
just
a fair weather fan. Isn't that what
I
it's
don't
called?
know. The Dolphins remind me of just an old ass lady that's just sticking around forever and she's not going anywhere. Versus the Bucks are kind of like the new thing, like yay, and then you got the Jaguars that's like, who?
I wouldn't say the Bucks are a new thing. They won a Super Bowl back in the early
that's
2000s.
recent. That's recent. They still got the new car smell on it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Super Bowl they won with Gruden. You know, maybe what was that? Early 2000s.
Yeah,
Derek Brooks days, John Lynch
Tony
days.
Dungy's team. Yeah.
So I think the Bucks have had a decent team before Tom Brady came along.
I'm talking about more
What about
exciting,
Mike
though.
Allstott?
Yeah, I loved Mike Allstott from Purdue.
He was a great running back.
Yeah, but the Bucks. I mean, think about it. I mean, y'all obviously lived in this state longer than I
You
have.
went to what?
But
I went to a Bucks game once when I was younger.
Oh, okay, yeah,
cool.
he was dope. Yeah.
no, so from the
was
outside
good.
looking in, when you look at the NFL markets in Florida, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville,
Yeah.
Tampa to me just stands out. Ooh,
Everybody forgets about Jacksonville.
They call it Champa Bay now because
yeah.
Tampa's been winning with the Lightning. They've been winning with
the Bucks.
The Bucks.
The Rays have
And
been.
The Rays have not made it.
They haven't won a championship.
They haven't won it yet, but they've been
playing
winning.
good. Yeah.
Well, the whole reason why I picked the Cowboys was because I actually had a chance to meet Dak Prescott probably like 3 years ago down in the Bahamas.
That's why you lost.
Oh, that's cool.
And he actually was
What a dick.
probably.
You didn't use stats. I met the guy once.
Well, I felt like
Such a dick.
I felt like the Cowboys are America's team, so it would
Says
be
who?
good for it would be good for football. If the Cowboys were
According
in
to
the
who,
Super Bowl,
sir?
if the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, it would be great for the league. I mean, there's
No.
no question. The
How are you
ratings would be up. I mean, the ratings are up whenever the Cowboys play. It's not by accident that
They're
they
one of
play
several teams,
on
sure.
Thanksgiving and
Oh,
that they play
gosh.
all the primetime
Okay,
games.
so do the Detroit Lions.
It's not by accident
Is
that
that
they're always on
systemic?
TV. Yeah, it is. It is because the Cowboys draw ratings for whatever reason.
Now, how were you feeling when his hand got his hand got hurt? Right.
It was
People
it
like to
was
watch
terrible.
them lose. But
I just,
No, I'm kidding.
I
Did you
felt
know
They've
bad.
had some great teams.
They won Super Bowls with Troy Aikman. And,
Now,
Yeah.
now I had a buddy.
Yeah, I remember that team. They
ran
were
track.
insane.
I had,
Michael
a
Irving.
I had a buddy I ran track with in high school that played on the Dallas Cowboys. His name was Anthony Henry.
Yep, I remember
That
him.
name sounds familiar.
He
Yeah.
played for the Cowboys and he played for the Browns.
Nice guy.
They called him White Gold was his nickname.
Nice.
Why they call him
Deion
White
Sanders
Gold?
played for
Oh,
the
he's black.
Cowboys.
I'm not sure why they called him White Gold. I'll have to hit him up and ask him. I don't remember why they called him that.
That's a really
You
weird
guys are
name.
ridiculous.
That was his
That's a
name.
very
It's
weird
not
name.
white.
Oh man, White Gold and them over there clowning and showing their ass off. Oh, you see what White Gold and them did last night?
Well, the Cowboys are easy to pick on, especially nowadays. I found some
They suck.
funny memes on the
Oh,
internet. Here's one. I put a Dallas Cowboys sticker on my broken vacuum. Now it sucks again.
I told you they suck.
That's hilarious.
I got another one that is how to spot counterfeit playoff tickets, and it's just a picture of Cowboy playoff tickets.
That's pretty terrible.
Here's another
Nice.
one. Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl pictures emerge, and they're on one of those like little floppy drives, from way back in the 90s.
Oh, I know what you're
So,
talking about. Yeah.
and then there's here's the last known Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl party, and it's a family like sitting around the radio in the 1950s.
Oh,
it looks
wow.
like. And here's another one. The Dallas Cowboys.
crazy.
The Dallas Cowboys. What does the 1 star stand for? And then the meme is their rating. Their one star
rating.
And I know
1 star rated Cowboys.
I sent you one, Gentry, that doesn't really translate on the radio, but I sent you one. Somebody sent me that's pretty funny.
Which one was it?
How Dallas Cowboys fans get dressed, and it's got the onesie
It's
where
a
it like
onesie.
snaps at the bottom.
Yeah, like the little baby onesie. This is how the Cowboys fans get ready. Yeah. So the Cowboys, I mean, my pick is out. Who are the rest of your picks? I picked the Cowboys. TK, you followed me with the Cowboys. I feel like Ramo, you went with the number 1 pick, the Bills,
I went
according
the
to
obvious
Vegas.
choice.
And
right
then
for this year, I mean, most people are picking
rolling
them.
with my homies.
And
What'd
Memphis.
you
Who'd you pick,
Bucks?
Memphis?
Buffalo.
I
Buffalo?
picked Kansas City.
You picked Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Who they look good.
Buffalo.
Without
Kansas City.
Tyreek Hill, they scored a lot of touchdowns
Yeah.
You
and they
guys are
kicked
still
ass.
in the runnings for this $100. You guys suck it.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's going
it's
to win?
usually somebody.
Now, Buffalo
that,
look
that,
good,
that we
though.
don't know.
Now,
who
out
it
of the
is.
two of them, is it the one that gets closer to the one that wins, or do they got to pick the winner?
No, I think it should
get
be
the
the
$100
winner.
bucks.
You have
The
to
100.
pick the winner
Yeah,
to get
for
the 100. I
$100.
mean, we could have some bragging rights. Whoever's team does the best.
Oh, I see.
You know,
Well,
but
yeah, definitely.
But not the
Can
person
we
who
get
gets
at least
not the
$20
person
in
whose
a
team is
pre-roll?
last still in contention. That's not who they don't get it.
No,
no, they don't get anything.
you got to win. Your team has to win the Super Bowl. There
There can only be one winner,
There can only be
and
one.
there's only one winner, and that winner is me.
Can we revisit this choice in the middle of
No.
the season?
No, it's
No,
here
no.
now, man. You can't be switched. You can't
when the
do that.
playoffs come, we could probably make some playoff picks, but
No. We're waiting. We putting the cart before the horse. So how about we just get through the season and make the best team win?
Well, I had a topic that I'd like to bring up. Since I went with the Dallas Cowboys, and I did it because I had met Dak Prescott, and I thought to myself, you know, he's a good dude. Another reason why I picked them, I used to
Sure.
work with this sports guy, David Moulton. He's Troy Aikman's like statistician, and he was a big fan of Dak Prescott when he came out of Mississippi State, and that guy seems to know his football. And I was just thinking this could be the Cowboys' year, but obviously it's not, and I was rooting for Dak. But I started thinking about athletes I've met that really didn't meet the expectations, and
Right.
athletes that I've met along the years that exceeded the expectations. Dak was one of the ones where I was like, wow, this guy's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and he's just super down to earth and super cool. So I'm wondering if you guys have any stories of athletes you met where either they succeeded or outkicked your expectations, or maybe you were like disappointed, like what a prick. Tomcat, have you ever met a big time athlete and you were completely impressed by meeting them, and vice versa? You have any bad stories?
Well, oddly enough, I'll start first. I met Mike Tyson actually with you in Vegas, and I thought that was a good experience. Mike Tyson was very cool. And on the odd note is, I also met when I was younger. I met Buster Douglas. I don't know if you remember Buster.
Yeah.
Buster Douglas.
He's the guy who beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Right. So I figured that was kind of odd, and he was a fucking dick. Now he
Yeah.
wasn't a total dick, but
What did
I
he do?
asked him for his autograph. We were in Specs Music, and he was in Specs Music too, and I had a hat. He wasn't a total dick. He did sign my hat eventually, but
Maybe you were the dick. All right,
Yeah,
yes.
maybe.
I asked him to sign my hat.
I'd vote for that.
I'm just kidding. I asked him to sign my hat, and I was young, and he was like, no, and he just walked away, and he was with his wife, and they left, and I was just sitting there, and I went up, and the other people saw me, and I walked up.
Is
to
he
the
from
thing.
Florida?
I walked up to the counter, and they were like, "What happened?" I was like, "Well, I asked him to sign my hat," and he said no, and then they were laughing at me, and then I saw his wife yell at him outside, and he came back in. I guess his wife was like, "You better go sign his hat."
That's dope.
He came back in and signed my hat when he came back in. But by the time he came back in, I was kind of salty. So I was like, I don't even want the hat.
So were you more salty because he didn't sign the hat, or because the kids laughed and made fun of you?
Well, no, because he didn't sign the hat. Because, I mean, we were from where I was in Naples. I mean, nobody comes to Naples that you really see. You don't really see any famous people around or anything. So when
What
we
are
saw,
you crazy? There's
Sly
tons
Stallone
of famous
used to
people.
be
There are a
Naples.
lot of famous people in Naples.
Dicka,
Yeah,
the
Mike
coach
Ditka.
is out here.
yeah, they're just
Larry
hanging
Bird.
out
You know who
at
else was
Specs
out here?
Music, but he was
Larry
at
Bird.
Specs Music. where I was.
Wanstead. Dave
Larry-
Wanstead's in
Wanstead, yeah.
Naples.
Also, I saw Dennis Rodman one time outside of
Really?
like a hotel down on South Beach, and he was wasted. And
He's cool. I bet he's- I
and he
bet
was
he's
arguing with
fun.
this lady, and the lady was giving him shit for being wasted, and he was like, "Fuck you, bitch!
Of course he was.
Fuck you, bitch!"
He didn't give a fuck. That's how he played basketball.
It was great.
What about
Give him a
you,
fuck.
Ramo? Any athletes you've met that were really cool with you? Any that were pricks?
Yeah, it's interesting that we're discussing this because as we were going through it, I really was. I've met tons of people in my travels, but this one in particular was really special, and I'm glad I remembered it before you came to me. Back when I was in my early 20s, I lived with my mom and dad. My dad was head of maintenance over at Boca Grand Club, and I was working at Bell Stand for a little while. And while I was working there, 1 week, you guys remember Tommy Morrison?
Yeah, the boxer.
Yeah.
Right.
He was also in a Sly Stallone
Rocky 3.
6,
Yeah.
I think.
Rocky 3.
Was it? No, Rocky 3. He wasn't in Rocky 3.
Yeah, no, it wasn't 3.
It was like
You're right,
Rocky 5 or 6.
Yeah, you're right. It was one of the higher ones. Anyways, that one.
You're one of the higher ones on the show. So.
Totally. And that's how I planned it. Anyways, he came in there with his whole camp, and I spent quite a bit of time with them. I got to take them into town and show them around Boca Grande. There wasn't much like as far as the club, but like we went out and got pizza, had beers, played tennis, did all kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, dude, and this was after he was in Rocky, after he had did the Rocky movie, whatever, 5 or 6. And he was still cool as shit. The whole camp was cool. It was really one of the most influential like weeks as far as ever being with a professional. Like this guy had already made it and was probably even on the other side of it all. But he still was like he never spent a famous day in his life. Like he was just amazing dude.
In Memphis,
Definitely.
do you have a story of an athlete you met that rubbed you the wrong way, or you got one
Did you get rubbed
where
by
maybe
any
they
athletes, or
rubbed you just the right way?
Well, I have two, one good, one bad.
Okay.
But the one bad is not an athlete; it's an entertainer.
All right, let's start with the good. How about
good?
that? Let's start with the good.
All right. So if you follow baseball, you know Brian Jordan. He used to play for the Cardinals.
Yep.
Do not follow baseball, but go ahead.
You know, well, he was good.
He's not Michael
I
Jordan.
speak for the rest
He's
of
not
most
Michael
of us
Jordan.
when I say we don't follow baseball.
He was fast.
He was very fast.
He's such a dick.
He's very fast.
That's funny.
Your ass. So here's the thing about Brian Jordan. He's a two-sport guy. He played baseball and football. He actually played with the Falcons with Deion Sanders. And then they both went to play baseball. So anyway, I'm hanging out. My brother works at the old Busch Stadium, so I can go and get in free. So when the Cardinals games, then you notice they start this, Brian Jordan, Ray Langford, and Ryan Gant. They just come out the dugout and they just sprint to their positions, right? And I'm saying to myself, if I ever got a chance, I bet I could beat Brian Jordan because he's the fastest, but I bet I can beat him. And I'm going to tell him one day if I can ever get a chance to tell him. So one day we at the park and we get down there and I say, hey, I bet I can beat you to center field and back. And he was like, really? Yeah, come on out here. And we raced from home plate to center field and back. I beat him there. He beat me back. But that was like so fucking cool.
That's a long ass run. Now, did you guys pause at center field, or did you touch the fence?
No, you got to touch the fence and come on back.
So that means he kicked your ass.
DJ for Tom Brady.
That means he probably slipped at the start.
Be
You got a
awesome.
head start, and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna give 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gone."
The thing about it, so he got off on me quick, but my makeup speed is faster. So I beat him to the wall and
So
on
you're
the way
saying
back.
he has more
Now, is that when
stamina?
you have makeup on, you can run faster?
He lasts longer.
No,
He has more energy than you, dog.
No, he don't
Is
have more.
that what happened? That one went out.
He's got that big dick energy.
no, I got
Jesus
that.
Christ, we're talking about race here.
That was Gentry.
Good Lord.
I got that same shit too, motherfucker. No, I'm saying
I'm sure.
I was a freaking high schooler, and this dude is like a 10-year pro, or not even 10-year pro.
Oh, shit.
So this sounds more like a story
I'm
about you
fucking
being
crying.
happy with yourself, not necessarily happy with Brian Jordan.
Well, yeah, because he could have been a dick and said no,
What
but
about-
he didn't. He said yeah.
He said, yes, I'll race you. That was nice
Yeah.
of him. What about the bad story? Tell us the bad
The bad one, I'm gonna make it as quickly as possible.
Tom
Right?
Brady.
That didn't seem like a nice story. I thought that
Tom
was a
Brady
bad
not coming
story.
in when you were DJing.
No, Tom Brady was freaking awesome. Actually, man, he was cool. I'll tell y'all about that later.
Oh man, we want to hear about
I'll tell you about Tom Brady later.
Yeah,
Tom Brady's cool.
it's cool shit.
No, man. Busta Rhymes, man, that mother effer, man.
Oh.
Busta fucking Rhymes.
I thought it was gonna be
Busta
about
Bus.
Terry Crews.
Yeah,
Terry
fucking too. You know how they say don't meet your idols? Not saying Busta Rhymes was never an idol of mine, but I really, really loved his music.
Woo-ha.
So this
Even
is
before
about at least 15 years ago. Me and my best friends and my ex-girlfriend were in Miami, right? And there's this particular diner, if y'all remember, on I think it's Washington and 7th Street, or which I forget which one, right on South Beach. But it's right next to a gay club. And
News.
I'm sure you know that.
News.
What were
well,
you so
everybody
close?
it's literally
gay
like
club.
right next door. It's a diner right on the corner. The
Actually,
gay club's right
I've
next
been,
door.
I've been to several gay clubs in Miami.
Yeah, you know. So
They're cool.
yeah, they party.
They play good music.
So anyway, we in there, we get in there
Good house
early because
music.
the line is long and shit in there because everybody want to get
What's the
in
name
there.
of the diner?
I forget the name of the
Are you
diner.
the
It looks
news?
like
It's called In and Out.
It's called
No,
La
no.
Cocina.
It looks like
No.
No, that's what the club's called.
it looks like it's like an old school diner.
Yes, and it's always packed.
Yeah.
Always
that's the
packed.
one. That's the one.
I've eaten there
been
before,
a lot of
yeah.
That's
times.
the one I'm talking
Everybody
about.
has.
And
So
they have big portions. and
hell
shit.
yeah.
Yes.
So dig
They have
this right.
to. They charge you $30.
Yeah,
now.
you
It's
pay a
very
lot in that
expensive,
motherfucker.
yep.
That's for sure. So we get in there and that line
I'm
is long
hungry.
as you say.
You gotta be
So we
quick.
finally get in. It's a group of 6 of us, right? So we chilling. We got a good booth, and I was gracious happy that they gave us a booth because I thought we was gonna have to put some tables together or something, but they gave us this nice booth. So we are having our food, and in walks Busta Rhymes, Spliff Star. But guess who else he with?
Who?
He's with Venus and Serena. And I was like, God damn, Venus got an ass. Like, for real, like, oh my God, her ass.
I'm scared of them motherfuckers.
Well, wait. Then Serena walked by and I was like I
Like
just
they're
want to
beautiful, but they look like they are extremely strong women. And
and they from Compton.
I would hate to get on their bad side.
Nah, fuck that. I like that. I tame that ass. So, but then I like saw Serena's ass and I was like, oh my God. Like literally all the perverted shit was coming to my head.
I bet.
Like with her ass, I was like, it's true. It's not a myth. Her ass is really that fucking big. But I was like, Venus got a serious nice ass
Did
too.
Busta Rhymes tell you to quit staring at the ass?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
So Busta Rhymes being the asshole that
Big
he
Pink.
is.
It's called
he-
Big Pink.
Big Pink, yeah.
What?
That's the name
That's
of
the place.
That's the name of the place.
That's the name of the place.
Big Pink.
I like
Big
pink.
Pink.
I like pink.
Yeah, so Busta Rhymes didn't want to wait. He wanted somebody to get up because he figured like it's them. Like, you know, y'all should get up and let us get this spot. So he comes over to us and he's like, hey, my man, y'all mind if we get this booth? And we like, nah, man, we just got our food. We hungry and shit. We all drunk. We just had a good time, but sorry. So he's like, for real, y'all not going to give us this booth? We like, hell no, we ain't going to give you this damn booth. And so he got like trying to start being a little Buster. And so we stood up like, hold on, partner.
You
We
didn't
can
wanna
all
let-
rumble in this bitch.
You didn't want to let Busta Rhymes have
Fuck
the
no,
bus?
that
bus.
motherfucker gotta wait just like everybody
You were
else.
hungry.
Hey, listen, we was drinking all night long. We was in the clubs.
Were you guys listening to
Killing
any
it.
Busta Rhymes
We
music
was
in
at
the
a
clubs?
fucking mansion. Woo!
And then when you got there, you
Boy, that night was fucking amazing.
So how did it end? What ended up happening?
So
you punch Busta Rhymes?
so they ended up leaving.
I've
They
been
didn't
there
want
several
to leave
times.
because they didn't want to.
How many times you hit
the
'em?
management came out, was like, y'all gotta go, and kicked them out because like we was already here. Man, we was ready to whoop their ass. They was like, bro, y'all run up on the wrong ones, partner.
I would have had to handle Spliff Star because he's smaller.
Yeah,
Yes,
don't misjudge the small folks. They'll
Yeah,
get-
no, they're the crazy ones.
Yeah, they kick your
All
ass.
right,
gotta
well,
be.
I definitely ain't trying to fight Venus and Serena because they ain't smaller. They'll fucking-
Not like I'll fight them. I'll fight them, but not like that.
I would
mean,
wrestle. I would
I'll fight
wrestle
'em.
Serena. I would wrestle her. I don't know if I would fight her.
I would invite them.
Busta's getting a
You
little
would-
bit older. He's still big though.
I would
You gotta
invite
tell
them to
Busta.
sit at the table.
So
I'd
you're
be like,
saying
you're welcome to
Busta's the
sit
one
here.
to go for if you got to
With us.
fight out
If
of,
it
out
was
of the four of
space-
them?
Was there no room?
There was no space.
Who were you going to swing on first?
I was hitting Buster straight
Busta.
up,
Busta
just
first.
because he the one
Were you
starting.
going to
it.
yell woo-ha when you think, wah?
No,
I don't
Gotcha.
know. Buster looks like he's kind of big.
Dangerous.
He's a
If you
pretty
get
big
it,
dude, man.
you know.
he ain't big. He
I hung out with him in
nice.
Miami like a long
if you
time
do have to
ago.
knock
Yeah,
him out,
he
you got to
seemed
stand
alright.
over and be
Like, I really
we
didn't
so
converse
with him
dangerous.
much,
I got
Like,
homies
it's
like
dangerous.
I was raised on fighting people twice his size. I would have
Oh
took his
yeah,
ass
no,
on.
me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, no doubt, definitely.
Memphis used to fight people
I mean-
the size of grizzly bears.
He used to fight giants.
Two of them at the same
Giants
time.
that came
10
down
people
on a
at the
beanstalk
same
he
time.
grew.
One hand tied
From
behind
some
his back.
beans.
On top, upside down,
Huh?
tied with his
Blindfolded.
feet tied up, hanging from the roof.
There's a very uncomfortable pause there.
I was thinking of something else.
All right.
Thank
yeah,
you,
bet
guys.
were,
I do
I
have.
appreciate that. That means don't fuck with me.
So I do have one story about me and an athlete that rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh,
Actually,
we got to hear
detail.
it.
even had me kicked out of the clubhouse.
Oh, whoa,
Out of the
whoa, what the
clubhouse?
hell?
Yeah, this is baseball guy.
Richard
Oh,
Simmons.
fuck that.
He's not a really big name, but he did win an MVP in the American
Really?
League. He played for the Minnesota Twins.
I knew it.
Justin Morneau. You guys know who Justin
Yeah, I
Morneau
remember.
is?
I know,
He
yeah.
He's
was he-
Canadian.
Yeah, was he was he the catcher or third baseman or some shit?
I believe he played the first base for a while. He played outfield.
Yeah, I remember him.
He won an AL MVP.
Yes, he did. I
Oh,
remember
tell me
him.
more. No.
Then he ends up getting hit with a ball in the head, which is not a laughing matter. And he had to take a season off because of head injury, and he was having headaches. And he went from being the MVP of the league to being a little bit of a head case. Like he tried coming back from having the concussions, and he was struggling at the plate. Well, this was spring training, and I'm covering the team for the ESPN affiliate, and I had a chance to interview him. I'm asking him this, asking him that. And then at the end, to just try to be fun and funny, I said, hey, I know that you've been trying to bounce back after the head injury, but I want to quickly just check your reflexes and see how they are. And I was like, I said, let me see real quick, how many fingers am I holding up? And I did one of these on the camera.
It just seems
And
like
he
a
just
bad
kind
idea.
he just kind of chuckled a little bit.
Seems like a bad idea.
He chuckled a little bit,
That's
and
kind
then
of dickish, bro.
That's fucked up, man.
and then we moved on.
And then all of a
Well,
sudden,
so he acted all friendly with me. Oh yeah, thanks. All right. I walk off. I thought that went really well. He kind of chuckled. It was funny. Well, then I get an email later
boy.
in the evening
Oh,
fired.
boy.
from the guy that's like the head of the media relations for the Twins. He's like, your media credential has been revoked.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Dang.
And you will no longer be allowed in the clubhouse because you offended Justin Morneau. He told us that you're trying to make fun of his head injury, and he thought you were being a prick. I was like, I wasn't being a prick. I was just trying to be funny. I was just really trying to get the guy to laugh because I got to tell you, those Major League Baseball clubhouses are real stuffy, especially when it comes to the media. You know, they kind of treat the media like pricks.
So they
in
were
some
trying.
cases.
They
Well,
just wanted
'cause
to put you in your place. This
they
guy's
make
trying to
fun
come
of
in here and
him.
have fun.
They go in there
Trying to come in
and
here and fucking
We
laugh.
like it stiff in these
make
clubhouses.
disgusting jokes about their handicap
What
that they
handicap?
get playing.
I just wanted to see
Baseball.
how his reflexes
He had
were.
a head injury.
He just wanted to make sure he was all right.
He's not a fucking doctor.
How do you know that? How do you know he's not a doctor?
Do
Do you know that he's not a doctor? Gentry, are you a doctor?
I'm the doctor of love.
Now you know.
See,
now
hey,
you know.
that counts.
see what we're dealing
That
with?
counts. That totally counts,
We'll see what
man.
other kind
I
of
just thought it was kind of a prick move though. Like if he was pissed off about it, he should have said something to me right there rather than be nice and laugh. And
I think he was scared of you, Gentry.
the video actually is on YouTube. It's out there. It has quite a few views, and I think people did give me some hate.
I got it.
Did give me some hate.
Do we need to roll? Can we roll that clip real quick? We need to roll that.
We could
That
roll
would-
it.
Roll that
That
These
would
guys
be
are okay with this.
hilarious.
Let's
That
see
is-
what other evidence we are.
That's
what other,
classic.
yeah, right.
He got
Advice
you
we
I'm
get from
sure
them
we
on
can
the show.
find some
Ow.
funny interviews of you guys doing something.
That's
Who, me?
hilarious.
No,
No?
not
I,
like that.
I'm
Did
sure
you-
I got
did
some
you
stuff
guys-
out there.
I think the better ones would be of Gentry when he was talking to like the Hollywood kids. Those are the good
The
ones.
Hollywood kids. Which
Who's
ones?
that?
When you were talking to like the Coreys and stuff.
Oh well, I did when there was a lot of talk about all the pedophilia in Hollywood.
That's
He was
pretty
he
sick.
was really digging.
And
on
I
that.
and
He
I
asked
had some of the
questions.
child stars on, and I just was point blank asking.
No pun
them,
intended.
You know, like, were you abused? And it seemed like
Did they-
almost all of them that I spoke to either had a long pause after you would ask them, and then they would have like this kind of scripted response, or they would open up and they would, you know, tell me about all the corruption and how a lot of these executive producers out in Hollywood would use their power to abuse children. You know,
That's
unfortunately.
fucked up.
That's why they
we
called
heard
it
about
Holly
yeah.
Weird for a while, you know? You know what? One thing to go off subject, but speaking of Holly Weird, I was watching the new movie Pinocchio. Amy had it on at the house.
That's a movie for real?
Pinocchio. You remember the old classic
Yeah, the
Pinocchio.
cartoon.
I love that.
Well, they've remade it, and Tom Hanks plays the...
Ruins it. No, I'm just kidding.
Why, Tom?
He plays Geppetto. And so I'm watching this
course
thing,
he
and
does.
there has been all these allegations that, and I'm not saying they're true, but there has been a ton of allegations that Tom Hanks and all these elites in Hollywood abuse children or pedophiles. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. Could be conspiracy.
They're vampire pedophiles that drink blood and
Oh,
turn it into
come
something.
on.
They get the stuff out of the blood, the platelets that make
See what I
Adrenochrome.
see?
adrenochrome.
See what I mean?
But
That makes
back to the
Let's see
story.
what other
sense.
advice they have.
Adrenochrome.
But I am
Stay
watching
tuned.
Pinocchio. I'm watching it, and I'm seeing Tom Hanks playing the role of Geppetto. I'm
That
like,
is very creepy.
Geppetto.
That's
and
fun.
He has a little boy named Pinocchio that he makes so that he can design him the way he wants him.
And his
And
nose grows when he
if
lies.
he's naughty, his little woody wooden nose grows. And I was thinking, you know what? Of
I'm
all,
a pedophile.
Tom
No.
Hanks.
all right, guys. He didn't write the story.
Why is the guy's name Geppetto? Who wants to be named Geppetto with a little boy with a wood?
I mean, it's
a hard wood.
It's a classic Disney story,
Yeah,
right?
well.
Is Disney, right?
Have you watched? We can go back to the very first Disney movie.
Uh-huh.
I'm just telling you what I thought when I was watching Pinocchio, and I was like, Tom Hanks, they've been calling him a pedo, and now he's playing the role of Geppetto? I mean, come on. With a little boy?
But okay, I get what you're saying now. But I'm pretty sure it's Petto, Petto, not Pedo, jackass.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I got your three-dimensional chest there, Gentry.
He's such an ass.
It is the triangle.
All right.
Illuminati confirmed.
There you go. Now let's see what other advice we get from these guys.
Oh,
Back
that
to
right
the
there is
show.
a smoking gun.
I was telling my
Yeah.
friend Jay this story.
That's not a gun.
That's wild, man.
I was telling my friend Jay the same story. Like, it just dawned on me, like Tom Hanks, all these news that has been coming out that he's a pedo.
Hanks.
Then my buddy tells me, Disney's bad. I'm like, really? He's like, think back to the very first Steamboat Willie, the very first cartoon Disney
Yeah.
ever put out.
That one's crazy.
He said he tried watching it with his granddaughter. Well, let's put on Disney Plus. You know, you have access to anything now at your fingertips. He puts on Steamboat Willie. And it's not long into Steamboat Willie that the bad guy takes a crane and picks up Minnie with his crane
and
and pulls her dress up to where her butt's hanging out, and they're holding it up and they're like spanking her on her ass.
Hell yeah.
And I guess Jay's granddaughter was like, kudos to her. She said, Grandpappy, this is inappropriate. Why are we watching this? I'm thinking,
That's
man,
crazy.
maybe Disney. I mean, was different times.
To these children, these little snowflakes?
Oh man, yeah.
Whose kid said that?
Jay's granddaughter
Inappropriate.
said it was inappropriate to pick a girl up, especially Minnie Mouse,
Wait till you get to college, kid.
pick her up by her dress and then show her underwear and then spank her. I mean, that's in a Disney cartoon.
It's
And they've
totally
had all
inappropriate.
kind of other stuff
No,
in
it is not inappropriate.
Disney.
It's a cartoon.
You know,
It's a cartoon.
Walt Disney's did all kind
It
of
is
crazy
the
shit.
pussification of America, all the way down to the smallest child. That's
Well,
what I think.
damn, man, that's pretty low.
That's what
I
think.
mean,
when
it's-
we were kids, we looked at that and we were just like, look, he's lifting her up. He's lifting up her dress. I don't know. Like, dude, you're a kid. You're a little kid. You're not even sure how your junk works yet. I mean, it shouldn't even be that
I mean,
much of a How
to
would you
be
know
fair, TK
inappropriate
has a
is
point.
yeah, but kids didn't make
TK
it.
does have a point.
Kids didn't make it.
Come on.
Yeah, he got a point though. I mean, think about it. When we were coming up, we was. I mean,
I
yeah,
love
we
those
saw
cartoons.
I mean, like,
I know
what's
that-
his name?
What?
What's the other one? Pepe Le Pew,
Yeah.
right? Like how creepy his ass was.
That was
But it was
offensive too.
hilarious.
That was
but
offensive too.
you knew you laughed every time he ran around her ass.
Well, I mean,
Or
I'm sure we did, but rape victims probably didn't.
But if rape victims can't look at a
What?
cartoon and be like, that doesn't have anything to do
Yeah.
with
I'm sure,
reality
I'm
and
sure.
rape,
I'm sure, but
it's a cartoon.
but
and it's not
I-
about raping.
I
It's
would-
just about
I-
he never
the-
rapes
the
them.
way
So let me
the
ask
way
you this,
I
Rainbow.
but he forces himself on her and without her wanting it, and that in some people's mind.
But I will also say,
it comes.
listen,
It says it means to me that in some people, I would imagine mostly women, imagine that breeds an idea that it's okay to do that because it's not, because it's okay. Like it's
But
not.
that's like very deep, man.
But what I
It's
think
a
is that they should
cartoon.
understand
but
it's for
you
kids.
still.
But
I
they
mean,
should
it's
understand
still
it's for
learning a
kids.
lesson. Like kids are seeing that. Like that's maybe
Well,
some people might think, hey, that's how you
I
approach a
think
girl.
a
and,
rapist is
you know,
going to be
you
grow up
keep
to be a
attempting-
rapist no matter what's on
Oh,
the
sure,
cartoons.
no doubt,
and a
definitely.
person who is not a rapist is going to grow up to not be a
Trust me,
racist regardless of the
I
cartoon.
watched them myself. I'm not speaking here on my behalf necessarily. I'm just saying I can understand how somebody
I get
would
it.
see that and be like, you know what? I don't want that like type of behavior to be in cartoons.
The cartoon guy
If-
lifting up the girl
Let me ask
with
you
the
this,
crane
Ramo.
and lifting up
Raymond, let me
everybody.
ask you this. You trying to tell me that anytime you watch the Roadrunner, you never ever rooted for the coyote?
Rooted for the coyote.
Yeah,
I-
because he's going to kill the Roadrunner.
Yeah, you never rooted for the coyote to catch the Roadrunner?
Sure.
I always wanted
no,
the
that's-
Roadrunner to get away.
What? Why?
I mean,
I got to
never-
admit, I was with the Roadrunner
Yeah, I
team
mean,
too.
he was my guy.
I-
I,
He's
I
awesome.
knew he was gonna get away. Like
No, but didn't you not want Wile E. Coyote to get his chance at least a couple
because
times?
his stick was not catching him. His stick was
the fun
trying
of
to
the
do
show
everything
was
he
the little
can.
traps he made.
Right? Yeah.
You know,
like,
by the way, I
And
just
watch
thought of
how
this.
he's
if
gonna get
it
out.
worked, then it wouldn't be funny no more. It
Well,
would be
It was the cartoon MacGyver.
scary.
No.
And
He's think about it. Because of Wile E. Coyote, you know what Acme, the whole thing, Acme and
Right.
the anvil, and because all
Yeah.
the shit, had a freaking catalog.
That
I
was
bet
classic.
somewhere.
Well, what
and he would have all kind of new gadgets and traps. I'm like, where the hell he get it? Oh, I got that
Now
from
let me
Acme.
ask you about Foghorn Leghorn though.
Oh, and him. Hey, I say it, boy.
I tell you,
look
boy.
Here, yeah, look here, boy. Yeah,
I'll tell you what
Foghorn
was
Leghorn.
awesome.
Is he
I-
okay?
I'll tell
Foghorn
you-
Leghorn?
I like Foghorn Leghorn. He's fucking crazy.
What about the crows in Dumbo?
I don't
like
remember
the
the crows,
crows.
but I think they were
They
fucked
were
up.
You're talking
racist.
about Heckle and Jekyll.
The crows from Dumbo were racist, and now when you watch Disney Plus and you watch Dumbo, there's actually a disclosure beforehand saying that
Is the racist crows?
Disney does not support the crows, and I think in some areas they've cut them out. So there was some racial undertones in the crows
Sure.
in Dumbo.
Now
Sure.
what do these crows say?
I know they
it's
say
more the
I ain't never seen
depiction.
an elephant fly. Yeah, I think it's more the depiction, the whole Jim Crow laws,
Yeah.
having the black crows.
Mhm.
Talking to Dumbo and knowing what
and
it's
they,
like.
And they have like a southern dialect.
Probably.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
hear- I
Haven't you
remember that.
you remember the crows from
Yeah,
Dumbo?
I'm remembering it now as we're talking about
Yeah.
it.
And do you know what the crows like to eat?
No.
The crows like to eat the corn.
Oh yeah.
Corn. We're moving on to another topic.
Corn.
Nice
I
say.
really like cone.
I like
What do you like about corn?
It's
corn. It's corn.
a big lumpy knobs. It has to choose.
So we're playing the Corn Kid, which I had no idea about the Corn Kid until my daughter came to me. She's on the TikTok. I guess TK, you're on TikTok.
I'm on it, but kind of sparingly.
I got to get up with the times. But when I saw this kid, I fell in love with him. Something about it, I don't know what it is. It's really stupid. But this corn boy is going viral. He's
Little
now
corn boy.
they're showing
Corn boy.
clips of Corn Boy on the Tonight Show, on the morning shows, and really, I guess the story comes from some famous podcaster, a guy that's got a following, starts interviewing a kid at some festival, just asking him how he likes corn. And here's the actual interview. And for some reason, people fell in love with this corn interview. I don't know why. Have you guys heard about it?
It's the positivity.
No.
It's the love that this kid feels, the genuine love that this kid feels for something. It's
Corn on
simple.
the cob is really
It's
good.
corn.
It is. It's
You know
corn.
that genuine love for something simple.
Especially with some butter.
Here's the interview
ribs,
that has given this kid
potato
his
salad.
5 seconds of fame. Here it is.
For me, I really like cone.
What do you like about corn?
Ever since I was told that cone was real, it tasted good.
Did you think corn wasn't real?
But when I tried it with butter, everything changed. I love cone.
I love corn.
And if you watch the video, for those of you just doing the audio version of the show, in the video, if you haven't seen it, it's a kid who's like only got maybe one tooth in the front, and he's eating this huge corn cob. and he's just the cutest little kid.
He sounds it.
And
you sure
then
it was a kid?
he's 7 years old.
He's a midget.
He's a 7-year-old kid. His name is Tariq. He's now
Tariq.
known by many as Corn Kid.
I
He's gonna
love
be
it.
Corn Kid his entire life.
That's sad. You think he's gonna develop a rap career off it?
I hope not. I hope he's like the opposite, man. Like he's a neurosurgeon. Like, oh, that's Tariq. Tariq, Corn Kid. Yeah, he's the #1 neurosurgeon. I'm proud of him.
The video has 6 million views on YouTube already.
That's
for,
awesome.
for the interview, and for the song has even more.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Like you peaked that was your peak in life.
As Corn Kid.
Yeah, that's it.
Why you
And then
putting that limit on him,
and then,
man?
And then as you go, you're looking back, you're like, yeah, man, looking back, that was it for
I
me,
peaked.
man. Look at fucking Corn
greatest
Kid.
moment.
You remember me, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Corn Kid. Yeah, it was pretty much it. No.
Some of the comments here on YouTube are wishing this kid gets an endless supply of corn for the rest of his life. Another comment is, this kid brought the whole nation together with his love of corn, and I'm here for it. People love the Corn Kid. You know, let's listen to the song
What
one
does he
more
think
time.
about ethanol gas? Not into it. Doesn't
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know, man.
You're burning up all the corn, folks.
You know, when you eat corn, you always see it again sooner
Yeah.
rather than later.
It is
Yeah,
kind of
but-
an odd thing. You can't digest it.
this video has
It
6
comes-
million
it-
views. Much like-
I didn't need any corn.
It comes and goes.
For me, I really like cone.
What do you like about corn?
It's cone. A big lumpy knobs, big heads to choose. Like having a more beautiful thing. It's
Cone. It's cone.
I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything changed. But the best thing about cone is the grease.
the grease.
So, Corn
Like
Kid.
this- they make this kid made a
grease
song.
and corn.
Like-
Is it grease?
Maybe it's the butter. The butter gets greasy.
Okay.
Watch now. You're gonna have all kind of DJs
Who's
like
giving this
trying to
boy
remake
greasy
this.
corn?
I doubt it.
There's gonna be a
Corn Kid.
deep house version of this coming up real soon.
I doubt
Look
it.
for it.
The
would
best thing
think so.
about the corn is the grease.
That's hilarious.
What?
The grease.
Yeah. What are you putting in lard?
Mom,
I know, right?
Mom,
Like, check that little boy
Deep frying it. What the
cholesterol.
hell?
where are you buying that corn
Oh
at?
man.
That's not
He's
corn.
talking about
That's
the
not
butter.
corn, kid.
I'm sure you're talking about the butter.
But
But
somebody in
you've
the
used all
house.
natural
Somebody in the
butter?
house.
Mm.
You know what? Don't use butter. Just use ghee. Trust me.
What?
Ghee.
Here we go.
GHEE.
I know.
buy
I know what it is. I know what
Use
it is.
that.
What is it?
It's
Bacon fat?
No,
It's-
it's not. It's like,
It's part of butter.
But it's the
without-
healthier
it's like
part.
the pure part of butter.
and you
like
still
that.
get the fun too.
I don't understand.
Yeah. So you're not. You just. It's actually a plus if you think about it because you just getting ready.
It's still
you
not
get,
extremely.
Where do you
well,
get this?
It's not
healthier.
extremely there, but it's better than what it
Yeah,
was.
it's good. Yeah.
So you think you're getting rid of most of like the yucky crap out of
Yeah.
butter, but you
You do.
still get the deal. You get
Yeah.
the deal.
It's
They
like
have it at the grocery
concentrated
store?
butter.
They have it at the store?
Yeah, hell yeah, we got something at listen.
India market.
You can go to
Oh,
doggone
okay.
Trader Joe's. Go
Do they
find
got
your
it
nearest.
at Publix?
They might have it at Publix, but if I were you, in whatever town you at, go to Trader Joe's. You
Damn.
find it in Trader Joe's and get you some of that doggone damn it. It'll come to me later because I want to
It's
keep going.
cone.
It's not cone.
It's cone.
Coconut oil. Coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Yeah,
Comes in a
coconut oil is
jar.
good. Yeah.
And keep some of that in your house. Trust me on that. But that's where
Yes,
you go
that
get your
video
ghee.
has
Coconut
6
oil is
million
good.
views, much like the corn in my shit.
Yep. So whatever you use butter on, you use ghee instead.
Well, speaking of the oils, last week on the show, Memphis told a story about him having edibles
Yes.
and losing it out at dinner.
It was pretty wild.
You know, now in the state of Florida, where we are in the Sunshine State, you now can get your medical card. You know, go see the doctor. Tell
We
him
have it.
you got a little anxiety. You
I
can't
think we
sleep.
all have it.
We do.
You can go get your
All
card,
4 of us have it.
and we can go down to the dispensary, and you can get an edible.
We're patients.
When I first got my license, I guess you would call it a license,
Sure.
I was trying to figure out what was going to work for me. Was it the flour? Was it the edibles? Was it the tincture?
I love the flower.
Was it the butt
And
plug?
flowers.
They
I'm
got
a flower guy.
Got him.
Was it the gummies? They have gummies down there. And so when I first got the license, I was sampling a little of everything to see what was working. Well, there was this one time where I took the True Clear, they call it, at the True Leaf. Maybe Ramos, since you work at the True Leaf, What is True Clear?
What
Because
is that?
It's
It
just a
sent me
little
on a-
oil.
It's what?
It's just a little oil. You can put it in cooking and use it to cook in food. You can use it as like put it in lotion and use it as it's pretty much a use for anything. You can do it sublingually, orally.
You can do it
It's
what kindly? Subliminally?
sublingually
Sublingually.
underneath your tongue.
Wait. True Clear. Wait.
Yeah.
Truly has this?
Yeah.
Why was it
you,
not aware of this?
True Clear.
That's how we refill the
True
pod.
Leaf. Yeah. We pretty much put True in front of everything we sell.
And
It's
I
like,
can use
it's
it in
like
food.
Mick for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually
It's like the McRib.
instead of making a butter from flour, you can just I'm sure instructions everywhere to cook. Anything from gummies to brownies, real food like steak or oil or salad dressing, whatever you can use.
Well, I
this
just
in it.
covered that
Yeah.
particular night. I covered a peanut butter pretzel with it.
Peanut
just
butter
took-
pretzels,
You
You
yeah,
know
what
those
it was.
pretzels
Wait.
with the peanut butter inside of it?
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Oh, yeah.
I just took the True Clear and I put it all over the top of that thing. Got
That
it real
sounds
nice
like
and
a
wet.
lot, man.
Now, how much did you put on
The
there?
whole thing, was it the whole gram?
No,
No, it was probably like a quarter of it,
that's a lot.
which you're supposed. I later find out because that's the
Now-
thing about
now
this.
you can
Just-
handle that. Now
how
you
much?
can-
yeah.
How much are you supposed to use?
That's only 25 milligrams, about 25 milligrams,
that
give or
much.
take.
Maybe it was more than that. Then it had to have been because it sent me into
Now
the
he-
spirit world.
It had
No.
to be at least half of it. I would
Wow.
imagine, because that would be about 50 milligrams.
The
Between
50s, I
50
told
and
you.
60 milligrams.
Now, if he was smoking other weed with it, it might have.
Well, this stuff is dangerous too because the doctor really doesn't give you much direction. You know,
Well,
that's the
okay.
problem.
You
with
get
this.
information whenever you buy products. If
Yeah.
you look inside your bag, it comes
Who
with a
looks
little
inside their
insert.
bag?
Who the
You want
fuck
your
reads the
doctor.
direct-
You get your
Directions,
shit in
Ramo.
there. Well, I mean, what do you want motherfuckers to be like? Read it to you before you buy the shit? Like, no, you want to buy your shit. So what they do is they put an insert inside your bag. So when you get your shit out, you'll see the insert and be like, ooh, I can go to this website right here, type in this particular number,
Mhm.
and it's going to give me any specific information I'm going to need.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that when I'm pulling out my product as I'm about to get all super stoned.
Fuck that, yeah, right.
That stuff is dangerous.
You know
if
what?
take too much of it.
Actually, I'm going to
Well,
do
yeah,
that
they
because
should
I want to
tell you
know.
that.
I
If
want to
you're not-
know.
If you weren't experienced when you bought it, then your consultant should have probably warned you at least. Hey, are you sure it wasn't RSO?
You really just need to take like a pea size,
It could be
rice size
rice
little
size.
piece.
See, that's RSO. You probably had RSO.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
no,
Which
no.
is a little
no,
more-
it was true, Claire. I remember
Was
what
it true? Okay, then yeah. No, well,
But the thing is, it was
You can do more
super.
than
It
that.
was super silver haze,
okay, that's a sativa.
and it was a sativa.
You should have been going to sleep.
No, he
I
didn't
wasn't.
go
I
to
didn't
sleep.
go to sleep.
Would you?
Oh,
was-
so what happened?
It was extra
Build your-
cerebral. He had a
build-
really cerebral experience.
I just
where-
remember I went
the
to
way
bed and I felt pretty good.
All right.
Then,
and then he woke up.
I woke up and threw up. Like it must have
Oh.
kicked in my sleep or something.
Oh,
I
boy.
threw up.
Ayahuasca.
And then all of a sudden,
I wish.
I was like thinking to myself, like, this is the end of my life. I only
Really?
have a few moments to say goodbye to my family.
Why is that funny? I don't know, but it just
And
is.
so I tell
It's not funny, but it's
Did
just,
you really think you were
It's
about
just-
to be
I
the
did.
first person in the history of Earth
I wasn't even thinking about
to
was
that.
just out of his
OD on
gourd.
I
marijuana?
wasn't even thinking about that.
But
at that
you got to
point.
understand, he fell asleep and then he woke
This
up.
was like in the middle. I'm like telling Amy, I'm like, hey Amy, I think that this is it. Why? And I'm asking her like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you tell me that they're coming to get me tonight?
And
so
who
then-
is they?
I told TK the story. We
You
were out
did.
on the road, and I remember telling him like, I can't believe it. The worst part,
You did.
as I'm telling him the story, I'm like, the worst part is, I remember going into my son's room and like waking him up and telling him goodbye and getting in the bed with him and giving him a hug.
And I very clearly remember him telling me that part of it and being like, the worst part is I went into my kids' room and I know I was freaking them out because I was like giving a hug and telling them goodbye.
That is hilarious.
So
And
Jordan,
so-
to come in the studio and tell your side of the story, because after Memphis told
Right.
his story, I was wondering if Jordan remembered it.
Yeah.
He remembers.
He does
You
remember.
was probably like,
Now, this
damn,
would be
he
before-
remembers.
He
Was this
remembers
before or
it.
After you?
And I just remember getting in the bed and like saying, I'm sorry, I should have told you, but they're coming to get me. And I wish we had more time.
Who was they?
Yeah.
I think the afterlife, they were coming to get me. Do you remember that night?
I remember it very clearly. I remember it very, very clearly.
Were you like
So what
scared? Was it like weird? And
remember
you're like, oh
it was like-
god.
I was in 8th or 9th grade,
Okay.
and I was just, it was a school night. I was in bed asleep. Unbeknownst to me, a few hours earlier, my dad had taken the laced pretzel.
Laced cut.
And then,
Calm down. It
The
wasn't.
peanut butter.
He laced it himself.
Middle of the night, my dad opens my door.
Didn't play somebody else. Did
Said
it.
pretzel.
He opens my door, turns my light on, and I'm looking at him like, Dad, what's up? And he looks me in the eyes and he says, Jordan, they're coming for you. Jordan.
Wow.
I don't know if I said that. I remember
Which is
that.
crazy because he
I remember
thought he
that.
said they're coming for me, but Jordan remembers
They're coming for you.
they're coming for you.
Then he went.
That's even worse.
He came over to my bed, lifted up my blankets, got in bed with me, started holding me real tight, and then was out. Out like a light. Didn't
passed
say
out.
another thing.
Oh, he fell asleep.
And then like, 10-15 minutes later, my mom came in. Your dad's off edibles.
Your dad's on animal.
You don't got to go to school tomorrow.
I think that's the funniest part.
He was
Your
freaking the hell
dad's
out
on
of that.
animals. You
Yeah.
don't gotta go to school
And
tomorrow.
then the next day, he was just puking his soul out. Just
That's
dark black.
classic.
Oh,
I'm
man.
Your dad's
surprised.
on edibles. You ain't got to go to
Oh,
school
Jordan,
tomorrow.
that's so funny.
I
Thank you.
apologize
Thank you, Jordan.
That's-
about that, son.
You
Your
sure it
father
was edibles?
apologized.
Your father's an idiot.
It
sometimes.
was. You know, it was
That's
it was a whole
amazing.
day of sampling. I had just gotten my license.
A whole day?
I had no
was a
idea
sampler.
that if you
Yeah.
sample this, sample that, sample. I was
Yeah.
just sampling that day.
Especially if you ate a.
He had a little sampler. I think I'll try this and
You
that.
can't eat too many edibles, especially the
No,
chocolate. One time
no.
I had got
Mm-mm.
I think it was an Irish cream, chocolate Irish cream bar, and I probably put half of it in my coffee in the morning, like maybe a week before
Oh,
Christmas,
no.
and that made me throw up as well.
The
'Cause it was
more-
just too much at one
no.
time.
The more of the story that he
I was
tells
high as
mixed
shit. It
with
was
your
great, yeah.
I
story,
gave my-
realized you were lucid dreaming because you went back to sleep immediately when you went in his room, which
You were
means
sleepwalking.
Yeah.
you were
kinda almost.
basically like
But who
kind
is
of like
they
lucid dreaming.
that are coming
Yeah,
looking
who's
for your
they?
son?
Or-
If what I remember in my mind,
Oh,
all
them.
I remember is throwing up and then going and laying back down and having this like moment in which I felt like the spirits were coming to get me.
The spirits
to take-
came and they
to
got
take
you.
me, take me away.
Yeah, you were.
And so I was just sitting there trying to
high as
come
shit.
at peace with leaving my family in my own mind.
What
The
house were
spirits
you
have
in?
got you.
Where do you think you were gonna go?
Do you think your house was haunted? And it was like
The
uh,
spirits got him.
There's
I
that
do
neighbor
remember
lady.
looking out the window. I was looking out the window like, where are
Looking out
they?
the window.
Where are they? They coming.
Jordan, was that house haunted? Did you guys have a lot of weird stuff?
He's
going
back
on
in the
house?
he's back in the
Oh.
control room.
Oh, man. That's
The
classic.
fucking neighbors are looking at the window like this fucking guy.
Yeah, right.
Face pressed
Every
up
time it
against the
smell like
window.
pine cones, gentry start tripping.
This guy looks fucking terrified. Look at him.
Well,
That's
a
hilarious.
public service announcement for all you kids out there and novices when it comes to the edibles. You know, pace yourself. Start out with a small amount.
Yes.
You can always
Ease yourself-
Eat.
That's
yes.
You can't wait.
always. That's
You can always take
Eat
more.
You can
You
always
can't
eat more.
take-
You can never eat less.
can never
That's
take
what it is.
less.
Right.
And if you
That's-
find yourself in a situation where you think you might be dying and you want to say goodbye to your family,
Don't die.
try to have some CBD around because that's going to
Or
help.
Narcan.
No, you don't need Narcan. Just have some CBD products around. It's good to be on a
what?
CBD regimen anyways
Why?
Oh my
because
God,
it's
what is he
good for
talking
your
about?
health, but it will definitely it'll
He's like,
bring
if you
your
get
high
shot,
down.
make sure you have some Band-Aids in the house.
What are you talking about? You're such a
You're like,
dick.
if you overdose on something, make sure you have some CBD.
No, if you smoke too much weed, jackass.
Okay.
Like if you feel like you're too high on weed and you're getting too high and you're in a place like Gentry was, take some CBD. It'll
Well, I didn't
calm
have
down
Or
and
any-
like
bring you
I
down
was
some.
last week.
I didn't have
It
any
would,
of that.
yeah, it would bring you down.
Yeah.
be
You
careful.
take some CBD, it'll bring you down.
Oh, I see.
Shit.
It calms you down.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
It
I
takes them to the
felt like I
highway.
was
It'll
on
come back.
another planet. I mean, and I felt great. I was like, wow.
When was that?
This is when I
You
told
told
you
the story
this
last
when
week,
when the
Tomcat.
wife took me out to dinner, and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
took
yeah,
that
yeah.
50
Yes.
tapped at 50, and I'm just like, wow. I wish she
You
could be
shit your
on
pants.
these. Yeah, and I thought I'd shit my pants too. And I'm like,
There
I
was
wish
no
she could
poop
be
in
on
your
this
pants when
level
you
with
got
me
home.
right now. Like the air feels amazing.
You didn't, no poop. There was nothing in
No,
your
there was
pants.
no poo.
Nothing,
I
even
was
a little
that,
bit.
like not a nail, not a none.
Did
There
you go
was
in the
n-
bathroom and wipe to make sure?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course they have to. I mean, you have to just
I'm
because
just
you don't see
teasing.
that you gotta do it right. Like just to be sure.
It was a ghost poop. It was a phantom turd.
No, it was that shit like took like I didn't have control of my body, and it felt great. But then like being at a restaurant or at home.
Did you fart?
No, I didn't, and I was afraid to.
Yeah,
Because
that was-
had I did,
You thought that turtle hand would have fucking been everywhere, huh?
no.
Disgusting.
All right, it is time to
gosh.
break for TK's not so famous news. It's the actually really not really good news,
Yeah,
but
not really.
I got some decent.
you got
news.
some good news. What
Not
do you?
really news.
Is it news? Because last week you didn't really perform the best news.
Yeah,
But let's see.
I did.
You can back it up with some great news this week. TK, our official newsman, he watches more news than any other of the Outcasts.
This is true.
It's
I do.
true.
So
I'll give
give,
him that. I'll give him that.
give us the news.
These
Not-
are the
well,
headlines
not
for
news.
September 14th, 2022. You made it to 2022, folks. All right. So the Queen is dead.
That's sad. Yeah. What
Queen
the
Elizabeth.
fuck are you laughing for? That's
Because
sad.
I saw a bunch of amazing memes.
You shouldn't laugh
And
about the Queen
that-
dying.
That
Listen,
basically goes into my
the
first
Queen,
story.
Listen, finish your story, TK.
She's the
CNN,
longest reigning queen
MSNBC,
ever.
Washington Post covered Queen Elizabeth's death by talking about reparations and racism. White supremacy and the British colonialism have been popular topics for media figures
Sure.
since Queen Elizabeth II's death. Left-leaning media outlets such as MSNBC, CNN, The Washington Post devoted significant time during the coverage of Queen Elizabeth II's death to discuss the British monarchy's history of racism and colonialism, in some cases even calling for reparations.
Long live the Queen.
Comments? All right, I always leave a space for comments.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
should be reparations.
It is kind of a
I mean-
weird setup that the royal family has. To me,
They benefited off of every war. They've pillaged Africa, India, most of Asia. You do know that they disturbed the land of the Aboriginals of Australia,
Australia.
because that's where they sent all the criminals to
She,
To
the
banish
Queen
them.
essentially
Kinda like what
owns
they did
all
here
the
in
land
America,
Australia.
right.
No one owns land in Australia but the Queen. She owns it all.
she leases it.
They lease it from her. Well, she's dead now, but him.
But
Charles.
But I'm
King
saying
Charles.
like they're in a like the whole colonizing stuff. Like I don't wish death on nobody, but
Are you saying that you were wishing death on someone?
No, I'm not
well, he's
saying
just saying he doesn't mourn her.
He's like,
I don't give
a
he
shit.
feels like
So you're
something. I
saying that
understand what you're saying.
And then you got-
Australia pays tariffs and stuff to England?
Well, no,
Canada.
If you, they probably do. But if you buy land in Australia, even if you're an Aborigine, you lease the land from the Queen, well, the King now, and you don't own it. He owns
they
everything.
own it.
They
You
own
just-
all of
You
Australia.
lease it from them.
Yeah,
Do you have any
Yeah.
other news stories, Tomcat? Because
Yeah.
your news is almost all about the Queen.
I was letting you guys talk about the Queen.
Okay, go ahead. Your next story.
Yeah, you gotta keep it moving.
Detroit cop resigns after racy OnlyFans page discovered by her department.
Interesting.
What?
A Detroit police officer resigns after a racy OnlyFans page she was running was found by the department and investigation was launched. One of our officers, through our investigation account, had a paywall set up and was posting pornographic videos on
While
the
in
other
uniform?
side of the paywall.
Oh my God, was she hot?
Yeah, I want to know.
Well, I'm wondering if it
We
was
might
on
have
her
to go-
own time, because
we
if
might
it's
have
on
to
her
go
own
out.
time, it's okay. But I think if she's doing it in her squad car,
Oh yeah.
in her uniform,
yeah, you
then I
don't
think
do
it's
that.
a
You can't
problem.
do that. Yeah, you can't do
Well,
that.
not unless she's using the nightstick.
Yeah, I mean, hey, got herself one handcuff.
How
here
about
and-
them handcuffs?
She
Yeah.
resigned though. They were
She
going to
did?
suspend her, but she resigned.
Well, yeah, she probably making a whole
more
lot of money
on
on.
OnlyFans. Yeah.
Yeah, she making all that
And
money
now
on
everybody
OnlyFans.
knows who she is, so she's getting all the ding, 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 ding.
So you think
Yeah.
the
All
chief
right.
smelled the shotgun
Next
that was in her
story
squad car?
is
before-
my
when you
last
let her
story,
go?
which All Gentry also has a little bit of a audio for. Federal Way officer receives suspension for TikTok video. All the officers are getting rowdy out there. It's all
Damn.
the lady officers.
Po-po in the
This
house.
officer put out a video of herself letting drivers on the freeway know about it.
She was
is a Federal Way officer who posted a controversial TikTok video last month, has received a suspension of only 1 day, which is kind of lame, After the department found 2 conduct violations, according to the Federal Way Police Department, FWPD, Officer Brianna Strauss
Because most
is seen sitting
motherfuckers
inside
agree with
a
her.
vehicle while in uniform. In the video, Strauss urges people to move out the way.
Get the
like Ludacris said, when officers
Move,
are driving
bitch.
behind them.
Or when somebody's pulling up behind.
Gentry, fire that sweet bean footage.
Here we go.
PSA to everyone out there. I'm
DK
speaking for myself, but I'm probably speaking for a large majority of other officers out there.
and
If
people.
we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get
Regular.
the out of the way.
Yeah,
Get the out of the way.
please.
Get the fuck out of it.
If you merge and we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble.
See?
Best
That's
way to find
messed
that out
up.
is get the out of the way. I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't.
Well, I disagree
do
with
that.
that. My car
So get
does
the
go
fuck out of
90
the way.
miles an hour.
It does.
Yeah.
If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over.
That's fucked up.
Find a reason.
You might as well get the out of the way.
Thanks for admitting that, though.
Yeah.
They should
Super
do that all the time.
That's all.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah,
all.
do that.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. I don't like. See, I don't like that. I
Here's
don't like
what
that
I was
at
saying
all.
before we even looked at this. I just happened to be saying, if a cop gets behind you, just pull off.
Yeah,
That's what you're supposed. That's what you're
Don't even
supposed.
drive
Get out of
anymore.
the way.
Just
Yeah,
get
if
out of
you-
the way. If he gets behind, if you get into the next lane and he follows you into that lane, pull off to the fuck. Get the fuck
He's gonna
off the
pull
road.
you
Just
over
pull-
anyways.
He's gonna
Wait
pull
for the
over
lights to come
anyways.
over.
Don't give him any more reason to pull you over. Just
Right.
fuck off the road.
Right.
And then
I
let
mean,
him
like I
pull
said,
over,
she
let him
was
pull
she
you
was
over.
right
Usually-
about that one thing. Though she said it, if you pull off and we pull off behind you, then
Dude,
you probably in
off the
trouble.
road.
But she said,
Look.
I don't know if y'all caught. She said, well, that wouldn't have been the case if you would just gotten out the way. So you're right. Hey, cops get behind you, just
I
move
think
the fuck
there's-
out that way.
Look, I'm telling you, I see it all the time.
All the time.
Especially
He sees
going up and down veterans and
What do you
just to
see?
hear from-
What do you
Dude,
see?
They won't get out of the way of the
cops
cop.
trying to go somewhere.
Right, and people in the way.
And people like
They get
staying in
scared,
front
so
of
they
them.
stay in front of them.
in the fast lane,
And then they
going
think if
5
I-
miles under the fucking speed limit. Like, get out the way. The
They
cop
think-
wants to go, and so the fuck do I. Tomcat, move it.
He was
All
tail-
right?
he
You want to
was
drive slow?
tailgating me
That's
today
fine.
on the way
There's
here.
a slow lane
This
all
guy.
the way to the right.
This
by the
guy right here was
motherfucking-
tailgating me on the
All
way
right,
here
there's
today.
3 fucking lanes. 3.
They
Get over
batter-
the right lane.
they
Let
batter
me
against
fucking
each
go.
other in
If-
traffic.
If I get a ticket, that's on
That's
me.
fucking
That's
tailgater.
my
I do
fucking
this
bad.
all the time.
Not on you.
Tailgater.
You're not a fucking cop. Get the fuck out of the way, Tomcat.
Tailgate.
Well, I think the problem that this officer did was her
I knew it was
delivery.
him. It was great.
I think she made a good point,
He
but I
hates it
think her
too.
delivery
Yeah, she
was
did.
terrible.
Yeah,
To
because she was
say
saying
that
it like in a real
I
like
can go
bitchy
90,
way.
you can't.
yeah,
get
no,
out
that
of my
was
way.
too far.
Yeah,
That was too far.
And
That lets me
in
know
her
she do some
uniform.
dirt. She do dirt. She not a good cop.
no,
She was
she's
kind of
not.
cute. I bet
She was
she
cute, but she's still a dirty
It's,
cop.
all, and it's bad faith.
Still
is
do.
what
Yeah,
it is.
I don't.
It's bad faith.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to get put over
you
by
want
her.
people to be.
Would you
want
let her
cops-
make you assume the position?
Yeah, I would. 'Cause as
Yeah.
long as I
Now
can
we're
put,
directing this conversation.
but now I can put it. As long as I can
put.
put. Well, we'll come up
Put
with a new
Memphis in
position or two.
cuffs.
So you know. No, we ain't doing that. That's where I no. You're not restraining me.
Depends on what you got in mind.
No, I need my hands to be moving and do some stuff.
Still can do that.
So
I just wanted to say that it is September is Suicide Awareness Month. So if you know somebody that is struggling or you think they're struggling, reach out. You are not alone.
and tell them about
BetterHelp,
BetterHelp.com.
Better help.
Our
Please do.
sponsors here of the Outcast podcast. If you want to save 10% on your first month's service from BetterHelp, just go to BetterHelp.com/Outcast and save 10%. That's
it.
going to do it for episode 34. It's in the books.
Sweet. Peace out, y'all.
So been a heck of a show. You know, again, I tell you kids, watch your edibles. You know, don't
Yeah.
don't take too many of your vitamins.
And end
you
up
know?
in your parents' bed. Get your ass out, stand on my shit.
That's right. We appreciate everybody for listening. God's willing, we will be back for another week. And thank you. Thank you very much to the fans. We appreciate it.
Peace
Anybody
out.
else?
Yeah, deuces.
Tune in.